Patriots versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Sunny but chilly afternoon at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. Temperature in the 40s as kickoff approaches for the Patriots and the Steelers. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pittsburgh. Tom Hammond along with Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Namath. And, Joe, the Steelers could have given Chuck Noll that 200th win a week ago, but they had a costly loss to the Bengals that hurt their playoff chances. Where do they stand now?
Well, it hurt their playoff chances, no doubt, Tom. They haven't proven that they're that quality yet to make the playoffs, but if they win their next 4 games, I think they can get in. But I believe it'll take 4 wins.
Well, against Cincinnati, they didn't score a touchdown, and the offense has sputtered all season long.
It sure has. Offensive coordinator Joe Walton has installed a new offense. The terminology has been difficult for Bubby Brister to pick up, but they've seemed to overcome that. I think the major problem this offense is having right now is Bubby Brister's ineffectiveness at hitting receivers. He's missing a lot of opportunities.
Well, of course, if the offense has had its problems, the defense has been very consistently good, and that spells trouble for Tom Hudson, the Patriots rookie quarterback who starts his 3rd game today.
I shouldn't be laughing because this young man, Tom Hudson, is going to be running for his life today, literally. They've had trouble with their offensive line this entire season, and Hudson has a new right tackle starting for the first time this year in Vian, who hasn't played the entire season. So he's got to get the running game going to give him some help for the pass protection. Otherwise, these Steelers, they're going to have a defensive field day.
And the Steelers will kick as you see Anderson teeing it up, ready to get the game underway with Jamie Morris and Marvin Allen deep for the Patriots. This will be Allen from the 5. Breaks free and is stopped at the 39-yard line. Larry Griffin just tripped him up, and Gary Anderson got a piece of the tackle too, or Allen was off to the races. He almost broke it. Here's the starting offensive lineup now for New England. That offensive line continues to be in a state of flux week to week. Bruce Armstrong has been the one constant. Hudson has been, in the words of his coach, adequate. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Stevens, the leading rusher. Fryer, number 1 receiver. The Patriots go with the Jets formation to give them 4 wideouts. Jones and McMurtry come in. First down play from the 39 for New England in the midst of a 10-game losing streak. John Stevens cuts up and gets about 3 yards. He's across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Here's the way Pittsburgh lines up defensively now. They're ranked 4th in the NFL. Gerald Williams got that tackle. Little and Nickerson rank 1-2 in tackles on the season. Lloyd leads the team in sacks. In the dime, Davidson is the 4th defensive lineman. Woodruff and Griffin are the extra defensive backs. And the Steelers have intercepted 21 passes this season. The secondary starters led by Pro Bowl performer Rod Woodson. 2nd and 7 for New England. Opening drive of the game. And Stevens tries the other side. Packed behind the line and stopped for a loss. All the way back to the original line of scrimmage, the 39. That was a loss of 3. And, Joe, that might be that offensive line really, even up to game time, being changed in the way they line up. Rod Woodson came up to make the tackle.
Well, you know, attitude has a great deal to do with this game. These Steelers know that they're playing against a team that's been struggling. The Steelers are awful proud of their defense. They feel that they should control this game today at the line of scrimmage, and I'm afraid they're going to, unless Hodson can get hot throwing the football.
Well, we'll see how he throws here on 3rd and 10. 4 wide receivers in. This is the Jets formation. Hodson scrambling, and he's got some room straight up the middle, close to the first down. Lowered his shoulder. Rod Woodson hit him, and it'll depend on the spot of the football. It'll be very close.
Surprisingly good pass protection for Hodson that time, but he couldn't get to a receiver downfield. He's not a real agile type quarterback. Should never take those fellas on one-on-one.
Hanson ready to punt. The Hodson run came up less than a yard short. And Rod Woodson, the dangerous man, is deep, calling for a fair catch here, taking it at about the 21-yard line. Well, the Patriots came close, just a half yard short of a first down on their first possession, and they do back Pittsburgh up.
You wonder, you know, with a 1-11 record, why they don't go for the first down. Here we take a look at the Steelers' offensive line. But Tom, with that 4th down situation, even with a 1-11 record, Coach Russ didn't want this game to get away from him too early. You know, that it just didn't make good football sense.
There you see the lineups, and they go to their ace formation with Eric Green in as the second tight end, the rookie. Steelers have failed to score an offensive touchdown in half their game, 6-12. Tim Worley gets a first down call, the ball squirts loose, and they say New England has recovered. Well, Worley, who has had problems with fumbling in his 2-year career, fumbles on Pittsburgh's first carry, and Andre Tippett knocked the ball loose, and then Fred Marion recovered it for New England. So 2 of the veterans, Tippett and Marion, combining on the turnover.
Worley hits up in the hole, and it's just a big pile in there, and the ball gets loose before he hits the ground. And there's Patriots all over it. Now, Worley has had some problems holding on to the ball, but they haven't been that bad, I don't guess. He really shouldn't be classified as a fumbling type back just yet.
Fumbles have been a problem for the Steelers, though, and New England, which had allowed their opponents to score 9 of 12 times on the opening drive of the game, get a break. Hodson, plenty of time. Across the middle, complete. Hartley Dykes, in his second game back after the injury just activated last week off that non-football injury, makes the reception across the middle, then is taken down by David Little and David Johnson after 17 yards.
Hartley Dykes is an excellent target at 6'4". Look at this pass protection again afforded Hodson. I can't believe they're blocking that well up front. Dykes at 6'4" makes an excellent target, and he has the speed to go with the size.
So Dykes with a first down catch, his 21st of 1990, and New England with a first down at the 16 in Pittsburgh. Stevens tries to bounce outside, tough going, spins his way for 2 or 3 yards before Thomas Everett forces him out of bounds. Running game for the Patriots hasn't netted much yet. That pass to Dykes, the biggest offensive play for the Pats.
We know there just aren't many bright spots with the Patriots, Tom. This whole season's been very difficult for him. Coach Rust, starting early in the season with the injury to Grogan, the second game he couldn't play after that. Coach Rust's offensive line has just been decimated with injuries. They've played different positions, and quarterback continuity is a major problem for any team, and the Patriots haven't had it, so their record certainly adds up.
And, of course, all those off-field distractions, too, adding into the mix. Hodson on second down. This time sacked. Back at the 22-yard line by Gerald Williams, who gets through for his 3rd sack of the season.
Well, Gerald Williams right on the nose, right in front of Hodson. He's going to get by Villa, number 75, pushes him out of the way, and just bull rushes right into Hodson that time. Danny Villa, of course, has played a couple of positions, offensive tackle. He's back at center now. It's something that he's pretty good at, but folks, playing out of position and going against a load like this number 98 Gerald Williams, he's going to have his hands full all day long.
Mean Joe Green did a lot of that in a Steelers uniform during his playing career. Nothing there. A fumble recovery by Gerald Williams as Stevens coughed it up, and Gerald Williams as the 2 teams trade turnovers. So Pittsburgh fumbles on his first play from scrimmage. New England has it in great shape at the 16-yard line, but a fumble gives it back to Pittsburgh. We're scoreless.
Steelers' defensive line gets penetration into the backfield fairly fast. There's a hole, it appears, but number 98 for the Steelers, Gerald Williams, sticks his arm out, knocks the ball loose, and then Gerald Williams jumps on it, Pittsburgh's ball.
All right, it'll be the Steelers' ball from the 24-yard line. Tim Worley fumbled on Pittsburgh's first play from scrimmage, but New England returns the favor. And with 10.5 minutes left in the first quarter, the Steelers with their second possession. Callaway in motion. Tim Worley right up the middle. Worley all the way across the 40 to the 45-yard line. Ronnie LePet made a saving tackle, but Worley, who had fumbled on his first run of the day, comes right back with an 18-yard rip for a first down run.
Going off the right side of your screen, a big hole opens up right here. Look at it, right through. Excellent blocking that time. Brown couldn't make the play, and here Lippett gets underneath Worley, but that's just some fine blocking up front there by the Patriots, or excuse me, by the Steelers' offensive line.
First down, Pittsburgh from their own 43-yard line after that 18-yard run by Worley. That's Hill in motion. Brister gives to Hodge, and Hodge has got some room all the way into Patriot territory inside the 45 down to the 43. 13 yards on that one. Fred Marion made the tackle.
Well, the Steelers have found a soft spot in the right side of that Patriot defense. Brent Williams, the defensive end, is blocked down severely, and so is Brown. Now, Fred Marion's looking at all these black shirts coming upfield. He's a little surprised, I'm sure, to see Hodge, the fullback, having that much running room around end.
Well, the two top rushers of the Steelers, Hodge and before that Worley, are ripping off huge chunks against this New England defense. And it's 1st and 10 from the 43 of New England. Hodge. Play strung out that time, and a good play by the rookie linebacker, Chris Singleton. They strung it out to the sideline, and Singleton took Hodge down. Singleton, the 8th player taken in the draft this year. Let's take a look at that New England defense. That defensive line has been a bright spot for the Patriots. Williams leads the team with 6 sacks. Today, Vincent Brown moves from outside to inside linebacker, giving Singleton his 2nd start. In the New England nickel, Washington is the 5th defensive back. In the secondary starters, Marion leads the team in tackles. Hurst tops in interceptions. He has 4. 2nd and 9 for Pittsburgh. 42-yard line of New England. Scoreless first quarter. Up the middle, Tim Worley. Behind some pretty good blocking. Pounds out about 5 yards.
Well, right behind the huge center of the Steelers, Dermonte Dawson. Watch number 63, block 72. He gets a little help from his friends, but he gets goad off the line of scrimmage. Dermonte Dawson and his right guard just blew the nose tackle off the line. And, well, you know, Hodge, Worley, Brister, anybody could have followed that block in that time. That's just excellent blocking up front by Dawson.
Worley is averaging 10 yards a carry on his first 3. It's 3rd and 3 here. Brister's in the shotgun with Hodge in motion. High snap, handed off to Williams. And he appears to have enough for the first down. Warren Williams with his first carry gets just enough for the first down, perhaps a yard to spare. Vincent Brown made the tackle as we check the early scores. Buffalo breaking on top of the Colts at the Hoosier Dome. And Cincinnati leading San Francisco at Riverfront 7-0. Seattle strikes first at Green Bay, and Atlanta with a field goal against the Cardinals. And here at Three Rivers Stadium, the Steelers are driving with a first down. They have the ball at the 33-yard line of the Patriots. That's the time remaining in a scoreless first quarter. Brister hands to Hodge. Hodge is stopped at the 30-yard line, a gain of 3. Ed Reynolds and Fred Marion combining on the stop of Merrill Hodge, leading ground gainer for the Steelers this year with 536 yards coming in.
Right guard Terry Long, number 74, and Tunch Ilkin. Watch them pull. Now these guys, that's the convoy. This is who Hodge wants to get behind. Somehow he cut back underneath. He saw a little daylight, and that's where Marion and Reynolds got in there to make the plays. But Hodge ideally would like to run behind Long and Ilkin as long as he can.
Steelers already have garnered 50 yards rushing. This is their first pass. They won't get off as Brister is sacked. Coming through to make the sack, Vincent Brown. That's his second 2.5 sacks on the season now for Vincent Brown. In his 3rd year out of Mississippi Valley State, he came right up the middle to get the sack.
He certainly did. Brister wanted to get rid of the ball right now, you see, but Ronnie Lepet is over there all over the receiver, and Vincent Brown just ran right past Terry Long, the right guard. Excellent play by Brown, but give credit out there to Lepet, who covered the receiver.
Loss of 5 on the sack by Vincent Brown, and the Steelers now with a 3rd and 13 from the 35 of New England. Play action pass. Brister with plenty of time, then he's hit. Almost lost the ball, scrambles free. He'll be short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Good scramble by Brister, who nearly was sacked, nearly fumbled, and then found enough running room to get close to the first down. Andre Tippett and Chris Singleton finally chased him down, but it will be short, and Gary Anderson is on for a field goal.
Well, Brister has some time right now, but he doesn't have any receivers to get to, and this is one of the things Bubby Brister really does best. When he gets the opportunity and he's healthy, he runs with the football. He nearly picks up the first down, but the Patriots closed in. That's good coverage downfield by the Patriots secondary.
Lost his hand warmer at the time. There you see Gary Anderson, one of the best in the business. He's made 17 field goals in a row at home. This one from 42 yards is good. Anderson with a field goal for the first points of the game, and the Steelers go up on the Patriots 3-0. And Anderson's kickoff taken by Jamie Morris. Morris just short of the 25-yard line. Tackle there made by Terry O'Shea. Well, this has been a season of distractions for this Patriot team, not only performing poorly on the field, but with a lot of outside distractions. The latest, a report was that Sam Jankovic had been offered the general manager's position with the Patriots by owner Victor Kiam. That was the story that came out yesterday. But Jankovic said he had had no conversations with Kiam regarding that position. And Patrick Sullivan, the present GM of the Patriots, told us he has a contract extending through January 1992, specifying that he is to be the GM. He also said that he has never had a conversation with Kiam about any change. Kiam is currently in Japan. John Stevens tackled for a loss all the way back to the 21-yard line. Donald Evans got penetration. Greg Lloyd came up there as well to finish him off.
Well, I'll tell you, Donald Evans pushed Chris Gamble, the left tackle on the left side, number 74, is getting pushed back. And there you see Evans. I mean, he just had outside position one all the way. Stevens might have had a chance had he gone inside, but I'll tell you, Evans did a good job on Gamble that time. There's Evans, number 66. I mean, he's only 6'2", but to me, he looks like he's about 6'7", man. He's big.
Started every game this year. Been a force for the Steelers. Stevens has carried 5 times now for -3 yards. Hodson delivers across the middle, close to the 30-yard line, to Marv Cook, who is his roommate, Hodson's roommate. Cook makes the catch and then is tackled by Brian Hinkle. There are the numbers on Marv Cook, who has caught 5 touchdown passes this season, which is
do you think he says, hey, Roomie, come on, give me the ball. Roomie, look, I'll be open.
We asked Hodson about that. He said, I don't want to get the reputation of just throwing to him, but he's the one that always seems to be open. Cook leads all tight ends in the AFC in receptions. That was his 41st of the season. Steelers with a 3rd and 5. They're 0 for 2 on 3rd down so far in the game. They trail 3-0 with 3:25 left in the first quarter. That pass complete for the first down to Hartley Dykes, and Dykes makes a good gainer out of it after catching the football to the 49-yard line. Hartley Dykes with his 2nd reception of the day. It went for 18 yards.
Excellent play by the Patriots. Good pass protection up front. Look at this. Hodson has time, and I'll tell you, you'd like this matchup all day long. Greg Lloyd, a linebacker, trying to cover Hartley Dykes in that zone defense. Hey, if you're the Patriots, you want to get that kind of matchup all day long. You think Hodson's excited?
Yeah, feels good to him, doesn't it? Hodson is just learning, and his coach said he was adequate. He's made some decent plays. He's missed some. All part of the learning process for the rookie out of LSU. John Stevens has had a tough afternoon. That time he dives forward into Steeler territory to the 48-yard line. Got a 4-yard gain on that one before Thomas Everett covered him on the turf, with David Little getting a piece of the tackle as well.
Well, that's a good first down play for Stevens and his Patriots, 4 yards. You wonder if the Patriots really have the enthusiasm that it takes to go out there and beat a team that is potentially a playoff team. I don't know. They haven't looked like they have that enthusiasm. They certainly haven't played like it. But Coach Rust says he's talked to the guys. He's trying to get them to play for their pride, and tells them, hey, look, you guys are being evaluated every play, no matter what the record is, so you better play well.
He says each player has to find some personal dignity the remaining 4 games of this season, a season that sees them at 1-11. John Stevens to the 45-yard line, got a couple of yards. Hardy Nickerson will get credit for the tackle there, as Rod Rust returns to Pittsburgh, and that Pittsburgh defense, of course, is the unit he coached here a year ago. Well, kick off your night on NBC with all new specials and a world premiere movie this evening. That's coming up tonight on NBC. Hodson Completes to Fryer. He's got a first down close to the 35 of the Steelers, with Greg Lloyd making another tackle. And again, the linebackers having to cover those wide outs. And Tom Hodson has 50 yards in passing and is 4 for 4 so far in the game.
Fryer has the speed. You have to give him room. You see the defender backing off, and the timing is good here by Hodson to get the ball out there to Fryer. Fryer has created some news again this week, Tom, in his request and wanting to get traded. And I tell you, I can't say that I blame him. I was somewhat surprised when we talked to Patrick Sullivan, and Mr. Sullivan said, you know, he's not taking him seriously, that he's asked to be traded 100 times in the past, but I think he's very serious this time.
Fryer has asked to be traded. Play-action pass for Hodson. He's still perfect on the day. That one is to the 25-yard line, with Dykes making his third reception in front of Thomas Everett.
Well, this offense has improved with the return of Dykes. I mean, Dykes has missed all those games because of the injury. A nice play-action fake up front, and then Hodson just delivers the ball perfectly to Dykes.
Tom Hodson, 5 for 5, 63 yards, has the Patriots driving at the end of the first quarter. Patriots rookie quarterback Tom Hodson, perfect so far today, and despite a broken knuckle on his throwing hand, Joe.
Right, it's on his right ring finger. Fortunately, you don't have to put a lot of pressure on the football when you handle it with that finger, but it's still weak. It still hurts him, and I'm amazed that he's throwing the ball as accurately as he is today.
He has the Patriots with a first down at the Steeler 25 as we start the second quarter. Hodson for the end zone. Dykes can't get there. Rod Woodson was step for step with Hartley Dykes. Right now, let's check in with Bob Costas at NFL Live.
Tom, you'll recall last week Buffalo put 24 on the board in the first quarter at home against Philadelphia. Another fast start today at the Hoosier Dome. Andre Reed latches onto this 7-yard bullet from Jim Kelly. Earlier, Kelly had hit Reed for a 34-yard touchdown. Kelly has 23 touchdown passes for the year now, and Buffalo leads 14-0.
All right, Bob, here at Three Rivers, Pittsburgh with a 3-0 lead as we start the second quarter, but New England threatening with a 2nd and 10 from the 25. On the carry, Marvin Allen. And Allen is to the 20-yard line, where he's tripped up by David Little. Marvin Allen in the backfield replacing John Stevens. Allen is the young man who was re-signed on October 29th after being cut and re-signed twice in the year. He was a bartender down at Pat O'Brien's in New Orleans making those Hurricanes when the Patriots called him back, and he came in to replace the injured John Stevens during a game against Indianapolis and wound up gaining 71 yards. And he's been a pretty good find for New England. Done a good job since he returned to the team.
Some people were wondering why he hasn't been playing more. You know, that job he did against the Colts, and then they sat him down after he hurt his ribs, said he was all right, but they never put him back in.
Third down, 3 wides to the left for Hodson. And he's going to scramble. Tom Hodson dives to the 15-yard line. That'll be close to the first down. Larry Griffin covers him there. But Hodson scrambling more than we've seen him in his 3 starts today, and got some pretty good room up the middle. It'll be close to the first down.
Well, I would expect to see Coach Russ go for the first down here. It's going to be 4th in a matter of inches. And I got to believe that his offensive line, his football team, wants to keep the ball, wants to try and get the touchdown, and he'll give them that opportunity.
You saw George Adams holding his hands just a few inches apart, showing Coach Russ how far they had to go. And they're going to call a timeout. Coach Russ calls for the timeout. Well, they trail 3-0. Do you kick or do you go for it?
Well, that bothers me. I think they just wasted a timeout. They should have had to play ready to go. We'll be back after these messages.
Hodson came up just short on the scramble. It'll be 4th and inches for the Patriots. Rod Russ calling the timeout and deciding to go for it.
Check the replay. Hodson nearly gets to the first down marker. I don't like the way he's going down. He's exposing that rib cage and area. But look, he checks out the distance and then just didn't make it.
They're going to go for it. Allen and Tutupu are in the backfield. Took in motion and what a tackle by Lloyd. Greg Lloyd came through to stop him for a loss, and on 4th down, the Patriots fail. We'll be right back. Greg Lloyd with a big play for the Pittsburgh defense as New England went for it on 4th and inches.
Well, on the right side, 95, you see Lloyd's, oh my goodness, getting into that backfield. His speed, his quickness does it right here. Mosi Tutupu tries to block Greg Lloyd, but Lloyd has none of it. I mean, that is a big-time tackle, folks.
Beautiful tackle by Greg Lloyd, stopping Allen for a loss on 4th down. The Steelers take over. Tim Worley to the 25-yard line, a gain of 6. Ed Reynolds makes the tackle for New England. And let's take a look now at our Xerox 10-minute ticker. Buffalo increasing their lead over the Colts. And Houston breaks on top of Cleveland. San Francisco and Cincinnati now tied. That's good news for Steeler fans. It's like a baseball score. Minnesota with a field goal and a safety up 5-3 on the Giants. Seattle maintaining a 3-0 lead, and same for Atlanta over Phoenix. Bubby Brister up to the line. 2nd and 4. Worley picks his way forward, makes a nice cutback. He's got a first down. He's to the 38-yard line. Fred Marion came across from that free safety spot to make the tackle, as Worley, cutting back against the grain, turned it into a good gainer. It went for another first down. He's carried 5 times now for 51 yards.
He had one fumble. He nearly lost the handoff on the last play. He gets a tremendous hole this time off the left side of his line and just runs through it. I've got to believe Worley's a little concerned with dropping the ball after the first fumble, and then 2 plays ago nearly fumbled that handoff. But with blocking like that up front, Tom, I don't think it's going to be a problem for him.
They've been opening up huge gaps. Worley missed 4 games with an ankle injury. He's the 2nd leading rusher for the Steelers. Gets the call again. The ball might have come loose. Let's see. A scramble for it. Worley already lost 1 fumble today. McSwain hit Worley, and the ball came loose. And New England has it. Well, Chuck Noll, in that bid for his 200th win, has seen Tim Worley lose the ball twice by fumbles today.
Almost the 3rd time, Tom. 2 plays ago, he bobbled that handoff. He's got to be thinking about it. And when that happens to a player, the defense go after that football every play. We'll be back after these messages, folks.
Tim Worley getting a lot of counseling from his teammates on the sideline. Dermontti Dawson talking to them there.
Well, he gets a nice hole right there. Rod McSwain lays a shoulder on him. You see the ball? It's on the ground now, right under McSwain. Right under McSwain, and McSwain comes up with the ball. Good hit.
So Worley has lost the ball twice by fumbles. Here's John Stevens trying to get some ground around the right side, and only a yard or 2. David Johnson trips him up. Let's check in now once again with Bob Costas for an update.
All right, Tom, and here's one case where the Butler didn't do it. Leroy Butler on the coverage for the Packers, but he can't catch up with Jeff Chadwick at the back of the end zone. Although Butler contends he didn't get both feet down, the officials disagree. It is a touchdown, 8 yards from Dave Craig to Jeff Chadwick, 7-0. Seahawks over the Packers. They've just gone to the 2nd quarter.
Thanks, Bob. Here in the 2nd quarter, the clock moving toward 11 minutes with Pittsburgh holding a field goal edge on the Patriots. New England drove down deep into Pittsburgh territory the last possession, then failed on a 4th and inches play. Hodgson to pass, gets a terrific rush and steps up to avoid it, and then throws it, almost intercepted. Hartley Dykes was behind Woodson, but the pass just didn't get by Woodson. If he'd have lofted it over his head, Dykes could have had a lot of room to roam.
Yeah, and if Woodson had hold on to the ball, he'd have had a lot of room to roam, too. Hodgson, I like his presence. He's pretty calm out there, pretty cool. You see how he finds his hole? He steps up in there. The Steelers all over him. David Little's putting pressure on him. He just doesn't get the ball out in front enough, and I'm not sure he could have completed that pass. I mean, Woodson was in excellent position that time.
Yeah, it was more good defense than it was Hodgson's mistake. Maybe he should never have tried to throw it.
Hey, if you saw David Little running you down, buddy, you'd be rid of that ball, too.
Well, offense has been a problem for the Patriots, so has everything. You see they're below the NFL average on 3rd down conversions, and have struggled there today. Hodgson again steps up. He lofts this one for Fryer. Oh, what a catch! One-handed grab, Irving Fryer.
Absolutely remarkable. What a great catch. That's why the Patriots don't want to let him get away, too. Fryer still has the respect of his teammates. Ah, shucks. Such a great play. They're going to call it back.
A holding call against New England. The flag way back on the 45. I didn't even see it. It nullifies a tremendous catch by Irving Fryer.
The ruling on the field was incomplete pass. We have a holding. Number 70 for the offense. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
Well, they ruled it no catch. Dale Hamer and his officials. Let's see.
Well, it may very well be incomplete, but I love the effort here by Irving Fryer. He stretches out, gives up the body right now, and I don't know if that's not a catch or not. I tell you what, I think it's a catch,
Looks
whether
like
they rule it incomplete or not. I'd give him the catch. He's got it in my book.
Looks like a catch to me. Hansen is on to punt on 4th down with Woodson deep. Let's see if they review it.
Well, the penalty would cancel the play anyway, so it doesn't make any difference.
But they'd get another down, though.
Yes, they would, which hasn't always been good for this Patriot offense.
Good point. In any event, Hansen is ready to punt. That looked like a great catch by Fryer to me. And you can't question his effort. Well, he went all out. Woodson's just going to let it bounce, and the Patriots are going to try to down it, and they can't. I don't know what. It was a 40-yard kick, but it bounced right in front of Washington, who didn't seem to make much of an effort to down it. There's Irving Fryer. He had a great catch called back.
Number 21 on your screen, Mickey Washington, the rookie from Texas A&M. Wish he had this play over again. Here you see, takes his eye off the ball. The ball hits and goes in the end zone. But I'll tell you something. He's allowed to catch that ball on a fly. There isn't an offensive player around or a Pittsburgh Steeler around trying to field the punt. So it's not against any rules there aren't any rules to prevent Mickey Washington from catching that ball. The sun may have been in his eyes. I don't know. But the rookie learned a lesson, I'll bet. I'll bet if this ever comes up again, he'll catch the ball and down it on the 1.
He could have downed it on the 1, but instead it's the touchback, and Pittsburgh, leading 3-0, takes over. The Steelers have rushed for 84 yards, 22 for New England. Pittsburgh, though, still has not scored a touchdown in this game. Brister completes it to Hill. Hill was wide open and goes for 13 yards, 14 yards, and a 1st down. Fred Marion came all the way across the field to stop Hill, who was wide open.
Well, Hill was open for a long time. Brister, you see how much time he takes after making the fake here, setting up, looking downfield, and he comes to Hill. Marion closes on him, but just an excellent pass pattern. Good play-action pass. You see, the Patriots certainly are respecting the Steeler running game, and they suck up a little bit. There's 82, Hill crossing the 30-yard line, wide open. I mean, Fred Marion finally closes, but I'd have to say there was a defensive lapse that time.
And it's a Steeler 1st down. Brister will go to the air once again. This one behind Stone, the intended receiver, with Ronnie Lepet covering him on the play. Well, this has been a long season for Brister and his offense. Joe Walton came in, fired as the New York Jets head coach, took over as offensive coordinator with the Steelers, and they first had a problem with terminology. Joe, give us an example.
Well, this play, folks, gives a formation, gives a motion, gives a play and all. What the Steelers have done is changed this yellow part, the ace left, a reverse motion. They now signal in, and they give this play 46 loop, 67 protection on 4 to Bubby, and it cleared up a lot of problems they were having with communication. And they've been working far more efficiently, except that they haven't been performing well. Been missing a lot of opportunities, a lot of booing going on. I guess the fans feel that there's some extracurricular activities past the out-of-bounds marker, but no flags have been thrown. There's Chris Singleton, number 55, who ends up making the play right now on Hodge, and let's see what happens here. Oh, I tell you what, I would have thrown a flag myself on that play. It looked like Singleton got lost, didn't know where he was, and gave an extra shove to Hodge.
Well, the fans here agree as they saw it on the big screen, the replay, and Singleton, that should have been a flag. Singleton, the first-round draft choice, has been a bit of a disappointment for New England this year, getting his 2nd start today. Mainly has played on special teams. He was a holdout early. Brister rolling out after the play fake and spots Hill, complete to the 40, and a Pittsburgh 1st down. Singleton back in pass coverage then, but it went for 22 yards, as all he could do was push Hill out of bounds.
Nobody could stop this last play. Chris Singleton, Andre Tippett, whatever. Hill gets Singleton in a chase position. Right now, you see Hill's out in front of Singleton. Now, no linebacker's going to run downhill, and look where this ball is put. Bubby Brister puts the ball in a good spot. Hill makes the catch. You can't fault Singleton for that play unless early on he was supposed to take away the inside, possibly. I'm not sure, but there's not a linebacker in the game would have kept up with Hill.
First down, Steelers. They lead 3-0. The ball at the 39 of the Patriots. 8:40 left in the second quarter. Another play-action pass. And Brister has another man wide open. It's Worley, and he is inside the 15, close to the 10-yard line. They still haven't wrestled him down. Finally, they will stop him long enough for the whistle to blow. McSwain, Hurst, Marion, all there, but Worley, who has fumbled twice today, catches that pass for 29 yards, only his 8th catch of the year.
That's what it is. It's a major event here in Pittsburgh when Worley catches a pass. These Patriots are biting on the play-action fake. You see the linebackers all step up there. Reynolds, 95, is not deep enough. Brown's not deep enough because they went for the play-action fake. And you can't blame them. You'd expect Pittsburgh to be running the ball, right? So there's a big hole behind the linebackers in front of the safeties.
Worley, usually not involved much in the passing game and wasn't in college either at Georgia. Vince Dooley didn't throw much with the Bulldogs. Here's Worley running the football for a couple of yards. Ed Reynolds stacks it up in the middle of the New England defense. It'll be second and about 6 coming up. As we review some of the scores, the Oilers have that run and shoot in high gear down at the Astrodome. And Houston, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati, as usual, involved in the AFC Central title chase. Tim Worley, 7 carries, 56 yards. On the sideline now. Hodge is the only running back. They have in their ace formation with 2 wide receivers and 2 tight ends. And Brister with, I don't know, Joe, he might have had enough time. 8 seconds left on the play clock as he called time. Might not have liked what he saw with the defense. In any event, he'll call a timeout. Tom Hammond and Joe Namath from Three Rivers Stadium. The Steelers leading the Patriots 3-0 with 7:01 remaining in the first half. And Pittsburgh threatening with a 2nd and 6 from the New England 8-yard line. New England also had a potential scoring drive nullified as they were stopped on 4th and inches. Hodge. Touchdown. Are they going to say he's down? And he's got the touchdown. Delayed call, but he did say Hodge was in for the score, and that breaks a long drought of touchdowns for the Steelers.
Once again, the Steelers run to their left and the Patriots right by the rookie Chris Singleton and Ray Agnew and get a huge hole over there. Hodge stretches out and breaks the plane of the goal line easily.
Now Anderson to try the extra point, and it is good. Pittsburgh has had trouble scoring touchdowns, didn't score one all last week. They drive 80 yards for this score to take a 10-0 lead. Anderson's kick will go out of bounds right in front of Jamie Morris. And the Patriots will take over from their 35-yard line. Let's go back to that touchdown run, the 4th rushing touchdown of the season by Merrill Hodge.
Watch 86 on the left. He's a little bit of motion, but he resets. Now watch this block. He hits Chris Singleton, who goes down into Brent Williams, wipes out the 2 of them, and then 95 Reynolds overruns the play as Hodge cuts back for the hole. What a huge block by the tight end Eric Green. Took out 2 defenders that time, Tom, both Chris Singleton and Brent Williams.
There is Eric Green, the first-round draft choice out of Liberty College by the Steelers this year. The young man that was a holdout that Chuck Noll said, well, he can't help us now. All he's done is catch 6 touchdown passes to lead all NFL rookies and all NFL tight ends, as a matter of fact. And has been a big factor for the Steelers in his rookie year. Hodson pumps once, then passes to Dykes. Hartley Dykes run out of bounds at the 40-yard line. A 5-yard gain. Rod Woodson led the defensive charge.
A defensive charge that had half the Steeler football team over there. That's called big-time pursuit, folks. These Steelers are hungry. The defense has been playing well. Rod Woodson gave a lot of room to Hartley Dykes. But then Dykes on the right-hand side of your screen is going to be greeted by Woodson and a host of other Steelers. Watch this team pursuit now. Here's Lloyd coming into play, David Little getting over there, Everett getting over there, and Gerald Williams, the nose tackle, was making the play over on the sideline. Now that's hustling.
They swarm to the football. It's 2nd and 5 for the Patriots, now trailing 10-0. Stevens, gain of 4. Gerald Williams, the nose tackle, finally getting him down. It'll be a yard short of the first down.
Patriots, I'm sorry, Tom. Patriots need to get something going on this drive right now. I mean, with 10 points down, if they don't get a first down here, I don't know that their morale is going to be high enough to be able to stop the Steelers' offense.
Well, don't forget, at the end of today's broadcast, McDonald's and NBC will be announcing the Ronald McDonald Children's Charities Player of the Game. John Stevens has had a tough time running the football this afternoon. He's carried 9 times for 11 yards. And the Patriots with a 3rd down. They've only converted 2 of 6. Stevens gets the call and does not get the first down as Gerald Williams once again is ready for him. And David Little made sure that Stevens didn't get the yard they needed. And so did Carnell Lake coming up from the secondary as the Steelers once again swarmed to the football.
Hey, there was another linebacker in there too. Jerry Osalski was in there. Oslavsky, 2nd year out of Pittsburgh, number 55, finds his way in there somehow. And once again, that's just good gang tackling. Those Steelers are hustling for that football.
Hansen to punt. Woodson is deep. Woodson lets it bounce. And it will be down inside the Steeler 10-yard line, a 46-yard punt. There's a penalty marker down, and it will be against New England.
Well, when things are going wrong, I guess everything's going wrong.
Rod Rust returning to Pittsburgh and finding himself down in a hurry.
Ineligible receiver, downfield, number 91, the kicking team, 5-yard penalty, repeat 4th down.
Boy, that's a shame. Chris Gannon getting downfield. He's turning around like he wasn't aware of it, but that's going to negate a good punt that time by Hansen. Good special teamwork because of another mental error.
Well, on NFL headlines today, Will McDonough reported that former Giant Jim Burt fueled Monday's Phil Simms-Ronnie Lott dispute with pregame comments attributed to his former teammates. Will also said that Miami AD Sam Jankovic has talked with Patriots owner Victor Kiam about joining the team's front office, although Jankovic denied it. Here's Hansen's punt again as Woodson takes it at the 15. Gets away from one tackler, up the sideline and out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Another good return by Rod Woodson, a 13-yard return after a 46-yard punt. Mickey Washington made the tackle.
Tom, did I just hear you say Victor Kiam said he did talk to Jankovic, and Sam Jankovic said he did not talk to Kiam?
Will McDonough says that Jankovic and Kiam have talked, although yesterday Jankovic denied that. So,
well, folks, that's the story. You just take what side you'd like to believe in.
First down for the Steelers, and Brister will go to the air. Completes the pass to Hodge. And Hodge out of bounds at the 40-yard line, 11 yards and a first down. Ed Reynolds finally chased Hodge down. Merrill Hodge in his 4th year out of Idaho State. He really hit the national eye with a couple of playoff performances for the Steelers last year. He rushed for 100 yards in consecutive playoff games. 100 yards against the Oilers, and then 120 against Denver. He also caught 8 passes against the Broncos. And this past February, out in Idaho, they had Merrill Hodge Day as they retired his Idaho State uniform. And Merrill told us yesterday he's heard every potato joke ever invented. He said, though, if you do need some for a Christmas gift, he can get you a crate of potatoes. Right up the middle to Merrill Hodge. And Ray Agnew, the rookie defensive lineman for the Patriots, makes the stop as the Steelers go over 100 yards rushing here in the first half.
Look at that Houston score. My goodness, that's a second quarter.
Warren Moon having one of the great years of any NFL quarterback in that run and shoot. Minnesota leading the Giants, so both the Giants and the 49ers struggling in their first game after that Monday night defensive battle. San Francisco tied with Cincinnati, and the Giants trailing Minnesota. 2nd and 4 for Pittsburgh from their own 47-yard line. Clock shows 3:35 first half. Intercepted by Ronnie Lepet. Lepet stepped right in front to make the interception of the Brister pass intended for Chris Callaway. And Ronnie Lepet with his 22nd career interception and his 4th of 1990.
Well, you can bet, folks, that Ronnie Lepet knew what was coming here. Pittsburgh has typed themselves to the point to where the Patriots scouts know what's going on. Coach Russ, Ronnie Lepet expected this play, and Lepet, tell you what, if he didn't get tripped up, you know he'd have been gone. Lepet just makes a fine play.
So Ronnie Lepet with the interception gives the Patriots the ball at the 40-yard line.
You know, quarterback can't do much about that one, Tom. He expects single coverage over there, and that's what he saw, but Lepet was jumping on that pass as soon as Brister released it.
So now Hodson trying to get some points on the board for the Patriots. Across the middle and short of the intended receiver, who was Irving Fryer. Keith Willis was putting the pressure on Hodson. He had to let it go and didn't have much on it.
You know, I want to get back to Fryer. Fryer's wide open here once again. He's frustrated. I mean, he is a top-notch NFL receiver. He hasn't played up to his expectations over his last 7 years. Here you see pretty good pass protection, except Willis is going to put the pressure on Hodson, and Hodson's off balance. But look at Fryer's wide open again. You know, and he really believes that through a trade, the Patriots will help themselves, too. Maybe get an offensive lineman and give Fryer a chance to play somewhere else.
And dropped that one, Fryer did, as he was hit by David Johnson. A little high on the toss, but Fryer couldn't hold on as Johnson supplied the tackle.
Big-time receiver supposed to catch this pass. It happens to be in the sunny side of the field. You see the shadows in the sun. Now, you can use that as an excuse. I don't know. Maybe Fryer can. I don't think he'd choose to use that as an excuse. The ball was delivered perfectly and should have been caught. But you can see on the field the shadows and the sun peeking through. It does affect the receiver or a punt returner sometimes.
Third down play for the Patriots. 3rd and 10. Their Jets formation, 4 wide receivers. Hodson gets rid of it. It'll be short of the first down as the catch was made by Marvin Allen, and Dwayne Woodruff stopped him about 3 or 4 yards short of first down yardage.
Still have to go for it, Tom. I mean, 3 yards or whatever. If they punt this ball, I'm going to be highly disappointed. I mean, there's only 2:59 left in the half.
How about a field goal try?
Well, that's all right, too. Yeah, I guess so. Personally, you know, after what happened on the last 4th down situation, I imagine Coach Russ would like to get some points on the board.
Jason Starofsky will try the field goal. He's hit 13 of 17 this season. His longest 53. This will be a 49-yard attempt. 49 yards, and it's good. Well, Starofsky showed us a strong leg there, booted it through with plenty to spare from 49 yards out. And New England, taking advantage of the 3rd Pittsburgh turnover of the first half, gets 3 points on the board.
What a kick. I mean, I really didn't expect him to go for this because it was so long. I mean, I know he's had the distance in the past, but a cool day like today, kind of cold, actually. Hey, is he happy? Thank you, Lord. All right, Starofsky, good kick.
49 yards, and the Patriots narrow the Pittsburgh lead to a touchdown at 10-3 with 2:33 left in the first half.
Well, 2:33. Patriots are back in here. This has got to help their morale a little bit, fire up their defense, because, you know, the defense has already taken the ball away from Pittsburgh a couple of times via the fumbles, 3 times, and, hey, they can create another one.
Pittsburgh perhaps a little flat today, Joe, after the tough loss to the Bengals last week and playing a 1-11 team.
You have to be. You know, that was a big game, and no matter how often Coach Noll and the other players told us that they're going to be ready for this game, you have to have a letdown.
Short kick taken at the 20-yard line by one of the up men, Gerald Williams. Well, he doesn't touch the ball very often. He got a kick return there to the 30-yard line. AFC and the New York Giants. O.J. Simpson's going to have a feature next week, too, on Bill Parcells. Will he be back as Giants coach next year? That's all coming your way Saturday here on NBC. Coming the Patriots' way is Tim Worley, who fights for a first down. He got 12 or 13 yards on that run straight up the middle. McSwain and Marion had to collar him, and Joe, Pittsburgh really gaining ground up the middle on the Patriots today, and often it's the safeties that have had to come up and make the tackle. Worley's already gained 69 yards on 8 carries. Tim Worley again. Not much there that time. Maybe a yard to the 45. Vincent Brown made the stop as we come to the 2-minute warning. Timeout for that 2-minute warning with the Steelers up 10-3.
2 minutes.
Less than 2 minutes left in the first half with the Steelers in possession of the football and leading 10-3. Steelers' ground game has been real productive. In fact, Tim Worley, 70 yards now in the first half, a season high for him.
Yes, but he's forgot to hold on to the ball a couple of times. You know, that's very important. You got to keep that rock. And these Patriots are trying to get the ball away from Worley. There's no doubt in my mind that the Steelers are a better football team than these Patriots. But they're not really up for the game as they should be, I don't think. And the Patriots are doing a good job out there, taking the ball away. And for a 1-11 team, they're giving it their all, I believe.
Worley's fumbled twice today, but has gained 70 yards. Ed Reynolds was shaken up on the last play. Richard Harvey has replaced him at linebacker. Brister's pass broke it up. Intended for Eric Green, and Rod McSwain knocked it down.
Ball just a little bit out in front. Bubby Brister had an off day last week against Cincinnati with a lot of erratic throws. Gets this one downfield, and you can see McSwain coming in for it. It's out in front, just a little bit too far for Eric Green. Last week, you know, in a big play, Bubby Brister threw the ball behind Eric Green a little bit. Also over his head a little bit. He was throwing it all around that big target except to him.
And Brister admitted it. Here's pressure being put on Brister, and then a one-handed snag by Richard Bell. And Bell takes it into Patriot territory. He's at about the 48-yard line. Ronnie Lepet and Andre Tippett stop him there. Richard Bell, the rookie out of Nebraska, caught his 11th pass there with a nifty one-hand snag. But on 4th down, short of the first down, the Steelers get their punting team on. And the punt is blocked. And recovered by the Patriots. Maurice Hurst is the man.
This is absolutely amazing, Tom. What happened here, as I looked up, the Patriots didn't get off the field. They had too many guys on the field, and darn if they didn't get the flag, and this play is going to be called back. Not only that, Pittsburgh's going to end up with a first down. Oh, man, if this is what I think it is, this is really a bad play by the special teams of Coach Rust's Patriots.
Dale Hamer and his officials are discussing it. Straczynski's first punt blocked, but a penalty marker down, and the discussion underway right now.
I don't know if they actually counted how many guys were on the field. The official on the sideline saw bodies moving on and off the field, indecision, and then he threw the flag.
The flag was thrown for too many men on the field. Counting the men on the field, there was only 10 participating in the play. Therefore, that was the 11th man leaving. First ball, New England. First down,
they got a break. How about that? The Patriots got a break. Good going.
There haven't been many breaks for this team this year.
You know, I'm not pulling against these Steelers, folks, but the Patriots have been so down. Take a look at what's going on at the top of your screen there. You see the Patriots getting off the field. Now they're not sure, and you see one trying to get back on. Decides to go off the field. Number 55, Chris Singleton. But still only had 10 to 11 guys out there. So indecision by the special teams of the Patriots, and they get away with it that time. So Coach Steve Crosby, their special teams coach, still can't be pleased with what went on, except for the fact that they got the ball.
2 timeouts remaining. The Patriots with a first down after blocking Straczynski for the first time this season. Hodson's pass complete for 8 yards to Irving Fryer, then bumped out of bounds by Carnell Lake. Didn't get out of bounds as the clock continues to roll. They ruled that he was
down inbounds. I saw him flying out of bounds.
He never went down, did he?
The contact was made inbounds, and the official kept the clock going, even though Fryer went down out of bounds. Strange.
I didn't understand that. is complete to Cook. David Johnson makes the tackle. It wasn't Cook, it was Timpson. Michael Timpson,
Second charge,
45.
timeout, New England, number 2.
So they do call a timeout here with 41 seconds left as Michael Timpson made his 3rd reception of the season.
Well, let's take a look at the earlier catch by Irving Fryer, where we thought he had gone out of bounds. The contact is made inbounds, first of all, right here by Cornell Lake. And here Fryer, well, to me it looks like he's out of bounds. I think the clock should have been stopped, but it wasn't. It's neither here nor there.
We told you about the big game next Saturday on NBC, Buffalo and the New York Giants. And, of course, a full complement of NFL games for you next Sunday as well, beginning at 12:30 with NFL Live. And here's the lineup of games. The Steelers travel to the Superdome to play the Saints. And, of course, the 4 o'clock game will be a big matchup between Cincinnati and the L.A. Raiders. Jimmy Ray, right there next to the post, is the offensive coordinator for the Steelers. He's made this call. First down play from the 27. Screen pass, but the receiver fell down, or was knocked down. There was a big jumble of players over there, and 2 of the Patriots were on the ground. Kenny Davidson kind of got in the middle of it to disrupt it. Stops the clock with 37 seconds.
Well, the pressure on Hodson is actually, they let him go. They want the pressure to get back there. They want the Pittsburgh defenders to think they have a shot at the quarterback, and then they just drops it over his head. But the only problem was Hodson didn't have a receiver over there. He was knocked down by a Pittsburgh defender. I think it was Brian Hinkle also helped out on that play.
Yeah. 2nd and 10 New England. Clock shows 37 seconds. It's 10-3 Pittsburgh. That pass is intercepted by Woodson. Rod Woodson picked off that pass, his 4th interception of the year. The Pro Bowl player with Fryer and Timpson right together got in the middle of that pile up to pick off the pass and avert a scoring drive by the Patriots.
Well, I'm not sure, but I don't think Timpson was in the right place. You see on the right side of your screen are 2 receivers. Here's Fryer trying to get to the ball, but he certainly looks like he's fouled by Woodruff there. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But there's Timpson, 45, and Woodson making a nice catch. If Timpson and Fryer were to be in that same area, that's the first pass route I ever saw where 2 offensive guys are going to be standing next to each other.
3rd and final charge timeout. New England, 40-second timeout, 40 seconds.
New England calls a timeout, obviously with a mix-up in their defense on the field. Well, Woodson made a great catch in traffic there, and it was a mix-up for the Patriots, obviously, with 2 receivers drawing the defense to each other. That makes it easier for the defense to cover. And Woodson got in the middle of that pile of hands to pick off the pass. He's having a great year, Rod Woodson is, not only in the secondary, but returning kicks.
I wouldn't expect Pittsburgh to do anything dangerous here. If they go to the air, maybe a screen or something, I'd be looking for a handoff or 2 right now. They don't want to turn the ball over.
And they'll just down it. Bristol goes to 1 knee. New England's out of timeouts.
Listen to all these cheers. I mean, boos. You think the fans here at the stadium wanted to see the long bomb, huh?
Well, Chuck Noll still in search of that 200th career victory. Will go to the locker room ahead at halftime, but it's been a mixed performance by his Steelers, who have turned the ball over 3 times plus a blocked punt in the first half, and yet have a 10-3 lead, holding New England to only a field goal so far. New England scoring a touchdown finally on an 8-yard run by Hodge. And at intermission at Three River Stadium, it's the Steelers 10 and the New England Patriots 3. Now for halftime, let's go to Bob Costas.
Okay, Tom Hammond, thanks very much. And I'm joined by O.J. and Will, and we'll hear from them in just a moment. Quickly, though, to the scoreboard. Buffalo continues to roll. You'll recall they got 24 in the first quarter as they jumped out to the big lead last week at home against Philadelphia. Today they're all over the Colts and making life miserable for Jeff George, who was knocked out of the lineup the last time these two teams met. Here in the first quarter, Kelly capping a 7-play, 66-yard drive with his perfect 34-yarder to Andre Reed, and it's 7-0 in favor of the Bills. On the ensuing drive, Jeff George has this pass deflected and grabbed by Buffalo's Kirby Jackson. That sets up another Kelly to Reed touchdown and a 14-0 lead. George's woes continue. He's sacked here by Bruce Smith, who had 4 first-half sacks. He now leads the league, began the day tied with Derek Thomas at 15. Now George is drilled on this play, helmet to helmet, by Cornelius Bennett, who helped to knock him out of the game the last 2 times the teams met. Buffalo is in front here. Thurman Thomas had a 5-yard touchdown run in the second quarter. It's 21-0 as Buffalo tries to take their record to 11-2. If Indianapolis loses this one, their wild card hopes for all intents and purposes are snuffed out. It was really a costly defeat for them last week when they blew the 17-6 lead in the fourth quarter at Phoenix. Cleveland is playing at Houston, and Houston's lead now has jumped to 31-7, and the Browns apparently will lose their 8th in a row. Jim Schaffner still winless as their new head coach. Pick up the action here, 2nd and 3 on the Cleveland 10 following a Bernie Kosar interception. Lorenzo White spins into the end zone for the TD, and Houston is off and running at 7-0. After another White touchdown for Houston, Kevin Mack fumbles following the reception, and picking it up is Terry Kennard, who earlier had an interception that set up a Houston touchdown. This time he does it himself, 72 for the TD, and it's 21-0. Not content, Houston piles it on. Kosar can't do anything right, and Moon can't seem to do anything wrong. Perfectly timed pass. Ernest Givens, his 8th touchdown reception of the year from Warren Moon, 28-0. Now, a ray of hope for Cleveland. Earlier this year, Metcalf had a 98-yard touchdown return against the Jets. This time he goes 101 for the TD that made it 28-7. But Teddy Garcia just kicked a 45-yard field goal to further increase the lead. Houston makes it 31-7 over the Browns. They're not yet to halftime. San Francisco and Cincinnati, and at Riverfront, the Bengals giving the 49ers a tussle. The game tied at 7 there at halftime. In the game you're watching, 10-3, the Steelers over the Patriots. Chuck Noll going for career victory number 200. Minnesota has the lead on the Giants. This one is 12-10 just before halftime. They've got a touchdown, a field goal, and a safety as Chris Dolman sacked Sims in the end zone early in the game. Minnesota now trying for their 6th consecutive win, and the Giants, of course, have lost 2 in a row. Seattle still alive in the wild card chase, looking for their 3rd victory in a row, trying to get up over 500. Both they and the Packers are 6-6 right now in Milwaukee. It's the Seahawks with the lead late in the second quarter at 10-0. And Atlanta has the lead over Phoenix. This game in Atlanta, where the Falcons are trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. It's Atlanta 10 and Phoenix 7. We'll have a look at the relative strengths of the AFC and the NFC as we talk things over with Will McDonough and O.J. Simpson as we continue here at halftime in just a moment. Based on recent results, that would appear to be true. As we compare the Bills with the stronger NFC, it's worth noting that Buffalo's win over the Eagles last week, paired with their earlier victory against Phoenix, accounts for the only 2 AFC wins over the last 10 interconference games. That's not the whole season, but it is the last 10 NFC-AFC matchups. Only Buffalo has an AFC win.
Well, when you take a good look at the AFC, I think only the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Raiders have the manpower to play that physical brand of football that the NFC plays. Most of the teams in the AFC, they're playing razzle-dazzle, run and shoot. Miami has a good team, but you take one guy out of that lineup, Mark Clayton, and look what happens to them. They just don't have the depth. But the Buffalo Bills, if you took them man for man and compared them to the 49ers, the Giants, and especially any team below that in the NFC conference, I think the Buffalo Bills would win. You would say I'd take more of these Buffalo Bills players than I would certainly the Chicago Bear players.
Now, what about Kansas City? Now, Kansas City is 3-0 against the NFC. Now, granted, they beat Minnesota before the Vikings got on a roll, and their other victories against the Packers and Lions, and they have to play the Bears sometime in the next couple of weeks on NBC. So maybe they haven't been that badly tested, but still, they're 3-0 against the NFC, as the Bills are 2-0, and Buffalo still has games against the Giants and Redskins left.
Well, let's be realistic. Juice and I watch these games in here every week, and if you're going to take Buffalo and put them up against Kansas City, or, you know, Buffalo and put them up against some of the other teams that might be close, there's Jim Kelly. Buffalo has the quarterback to go with the defense, to go with all the other people. He right now is a level above those other guys. So this gives Buffalo, in my opinion, the better shot. I talked to Ron Meyer this week, and he said, Will, Buffalo is the best team right now to be in the AFC in years. And in his opinion, right now, they're playing with the Giants and 49ers in their overall game.
Yeah, I really think if you took a Kelly and a Warren Moon and you put them, despite the year that Steve DeBerg is having, but if you put them in Kansas City's backfield, and certainly the Raiders' backfield, that has a ton of talent, you're looking at a Super Bowl favorite team.
All right, Will, OJ, the second half is still to come as the NFL on NBC continues.
Halftime at Three Rivers Stadium with the Pittsburgh Steelers leading the New England Patriots 10-3. The first half has not been a thing of beauty. 5 turnovers between the two teams. Perhaps the Steelers a little bit flat, but with a superior team. And New England with some opportunities, but unable to take advantage of them here in the first half.
Yes, they've had some turnovers created. You know, the thing is, we keep talking about the Patriots defense being pretty good, but, you know, they're giving up a lot of yards on the ground. It's not entirely the defense's fault because the offense has been poor through the course of the season, but they're ranked last in the AFC against the rush, and it's adding up today. I mean, these Steelers, they gained over 117 yards the first half alone on the ground.
Well, the Steelers a week ago against Cincinnati in that 16-12 loss didn't score a touchdown. They finally did score a touchdown in the first half today. It was a run by Merrill Hodge, an 8-yard run that capped an 80-yard drive by the Steelers.
And from this angle, it looks like Hodge has a big hole in there, and that's true. The play was overrun by Reynolds and Marion that time. Take a look this time at number 86's block. Green, rookie tight end on the left side of your screen. He's going to hit Chris Singleton. Number 86 in the black's going to hit Chris Singleton, and he's going to wipe out Brent Williams. And now McReynolds 95 and Marion 31 both over pursue a bit, and Hodge smartly cuts back into the end zone.
Rookie against rookie there as Green wiped out Singleton. Now, one of the bright spots for the New England defense was this interception by Ronnie Lepet, the first pickoff by the New England defense in the last 7 games, counting this one.
Yes, the Patriots haven't been getting to the ball, but Lepet really read this play all the way. They smelled it out. They knew what Brister was trying to do this time.
A bittersweet first half for Tim Worley. He already has a season-high 70 yards rushing, but he lost the ball by fumbles twice.
Yes, and you know, folks, when a guy loses the ball a couple of times, the defense keeps grabbing at it. They keep grabbing it. They're talking to Worley out there in the field. You can see Worley's teammates talk to him on occasion about holding the ball. And running back that loses it a couple times, it's bothering him. It's worrying him, and those guys are going to keep reminding him out there. We're going to get the ball from you, Worley. We're going to get the ball from you. Take a look at these stats now. You see the turnovers in white and the 117 yards rushing in white by the Steelers. Time of possession's the Patriots' way, but they're short on the scoreboard. Patriots offense, too, 26 yards rushing. You know, the Patriots with that offensive line, with the injuries and all, they're not doing a real bad job of protecting Hodson today, but they can't get any holes opened up for John Stevens. They're just out of sync in there. Vian, who's playing right tackle right now, David Vian, for the Patriots, hasn't played all year long, and you really don't expect a guy that hasn't played it down all year long to do a tremendous job out there.
Well, there's Chuck Noll trying to get that 200th career win, trying to become the 5th NFL coach to achieve that milestone. And it's interesting to note, Joe, that in Chuck Noll's first season with the Pittsburgh Steelers, he was in much the same situation as Rod Russ, the coach of the Patriots. Didn't he win only 1 game his first year?
That's right. In 14, he only won 1 game. Here are the milestone victories. You see number 100 was against the same New England Patriots. And if things keep going this way for Chuck Noll, he'll have his 200th win against the Patriots also.
He would join George Halas, Don Shula, Tom Landry, and Curly Lambeau as the only NFL coaches to have won 200 games. Rod Woodson is deep, awaiting the kickoff by Jason Starofsky of New England, which will get the second half underway. There's Woodson. And another short kick by Starofsky, a second in a row in that department, taken at the 21 by Woodson. He tries to get to the outside and does. Turns the corner. There's a penalty marker down, and Woodson taken down at the 36-yard line. Tackle made by Junior Robinson. Let's check the penalty marker. Against Pittsburgh.
Illegal block, number 44, on the return, first down.
David Johnson with the illegal block, which will set the ball back to the 25-yard line of the Steelers, where they will begin the second half. Ed Reynolds, who was shaken up in the first half in that New England defense, is back on the field to start the third quarter. Pittsburgh leading 10-3. Steelers have taken advantage of losing teams on the year and try to do so again with Merrill Hodge on the first carry of the half. Pounds forward for 2 yards. Tim Goad, the nose tackle, who's had a good year, along with Ed Reynolds making the tackle.
This is one of the bright spots on the Patriots right here, the nose tackle, Tim Goad. Brent Williams, his teammate that lines up to his right, and also Ray Agnew to Goad's left. These three defensive linemen have been doing a pretty good job up front. Goad hustles from sideline to sideline. Got a lot of enthusiasm, and he's a much improved nose tackle.
Barry Foster, the rookie out of Arkansas, running back for Pittsburgh, has sprained his ankle, is out for the rest of the game. With Stone in motion, Brister goes to the play-action pass, and Stone drops it. Dwight Stone had it, bobbled it, and it fell to the turf. He had beaten Fred Marion.
Bubby Brister makes a nice play-action fake and then delivers the ball right on target. Right here, look. My goodness gracious, you're supposed to catch that ball.
You know, Stone kind of snatched at it, and Brister can't believe that one was dropped. He hadn't thrown a better ball all day.
No, and the way Bubby's holding his helmet, that's the way Stone and his receivers were holding their helmets last week against Cincinnati. They were open so often, and they didn't have the opportunities to catch the ball.
Warren Williams is in the game on third down, replacing Tim Worley. You see Pittsburgh has converted only half of their third downs. Brister going deep. Stone makes a diving attempt, couldn't get it. Marion and Lepet were running with Stone, but he's the fastest Steeler is Stone, and he runs a 4.25 40. He was about 60 yards downfield here.
On the right side of your screen, you can see Stone just actually outrunning Lepet and getting to that open spot, leaving his feet, not quite being able to get to the ball. Almost, not quite.
Reminiscent of Bradshaw to Swan.
Well, that would have been complete.
Trzynski to punt. His last one was blocked. This one is gotten away well, and Fryer calls a fair catch. Irving Fryer with a fair catch at the 36-yard line after a 36 yards Trzynski punt. Here's the prime time lineup coming your way on NBC this evening. Dykes wide left, Fryer wide right. 1st and 10, Patriots from their own 36. Fryer now goes in motion. And it's Stevens. Back to the line of scrimmage and hit there by Brian Hinkle. There's Brian Hinkle. Came into the game with 50 tackles.
Right here on the right side of the screen, number 78, Bruce Armstrong, is probably the best offensive lineman, albeit he doesn't do much on this play, but he is the bright spot in the offensive line for these Patriots. He's really the only player that's played consistently in the same position this season, and what can I say? He's the best offensive lineman they have.
Stevens has only 11 yards on 11 carries today. Hodson's passing has been mostly on target, though. That one to Dykes. Dykes makes a diving catch and then is covered by David Johnson. He's going to be a yard short of the first down.
You know, I asked Hodson yesterday when we were visiting with him about his finger. I mean, he has a fractured ring finger on his right hand. I said, my goodness, that's got to hurt you, Tom. You know, how can you play? He said, hey, I'm behind a guy named Steve Grogan who's had neck problems, back problems, leg problems, and he's been tough. He said, I can tough this out. I'll play. I'll be all right. And I really am surprised at the accuracy he's shown today throwing the football.
In fact, he said if Grogan can put his life on the line, as he did with a neck injury, I can put my finger on the line. Taking a long look to see if it is enough for the first down. There's Steve Grogan with the parka and the hat on as the chains come in for the measurement. Hartley Dykes having a big game and his second back after that non-football injury. A altercation at a Providence, Rhode Island bar. Suffered an eye injury. He's caught 5 balls for 59 yards today. That one just a foot short of the first down.
We keep mentioning the problems that the Patriots have had with their offensive line. Well, the quarterbacks have been a major problem for the Patriots. They haven't been able to stay healthy. And here you see the quarterbacks that have been playing for the Patriots since '87. There's been really very little continuity in there because of the injury factor.
Third down and a foot for the Patriots. Tight formation, eye in the backfield. It's going to be a pass as Hodgson rolls, throws across the middle, complete, and then fumble. Recovered by the Steelers. Little recovered Mowat's fumble as Everett knocked the ball loose.
Once again, take a look at that cast on Mowat's left hand. He's got a huge cast. It's very difficult for him to get the handle on the ball. Look at that thing. Geez, I'm a little bit surprised that he's even in the pass offense.
Another New England turnover. Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, 10-3 Steelers, 12:25 left in the third quarter. Fumble recovery by the Steelers. They have the ball with a first down. Zeke Mowat making a first down catch and then fumbling the football. Merrill Hodge on the pitch, picked up on a good defensive play that time by the Patriots' Maurice Hurst. Got penetration and tripped up Merrill Hodge. Let's go back to that fumble by Mowat.
Well, Mowat has control of the ball. You'll see him catch it and turn around, and then I'm telling you, a strong lick by number 27, Thomas Everett's going to come in right here and squarely knock that ball loose. That's just a tremendous hit by 27, Thomas Everett.
There's Everett who delivered the fumble-causing blow as Mowat, with that big cast on his left hand, committed the third New England turnover. They even up. From the I formation, Worley met at the line of scrimmage and driven back. Nice tackle by Ed Reynolds there. Came up with the football, but it'll be no fumble. Ruled down. As the New England defense has been tough against the run here on the first two plays after surrendering over 100 yards in the first half. You know, back to that play, that fumble by Mowat, they showed a little daring, third down and a foot. They went for the pass and apparently had executed it well as Hodgson found Mowat for a gain of about 15 yards. But then the fumble negated something good for Rust Patriots.
Yeah, well, Coach Rod Rust appreciates a good hit by a defensive player, too, and I'm sure he's going to say, well, Thomas Everett just delivered a great blow that time.
Steelers have converted 2 of 5 third downs. Brister across the middle of Hodge. Hodge still on his feet. Taken down at the 32-yard line. Merrill Hodge out of the backfield catches it for 28 yards. Ronnie Lepet finally chased him down.
You don't look for Hodge very often coming out of that backfield. He doesn't catch a lot of passes. Number 33 on the left side of your screen is going to cross the middle of the field. You see how it's opened up now, and Brister throws the ball right in there. Hodge showing some speed, too, and I tell you, he's a lot more elusive than you give him credit for. He's a good-sized fullback that is pretty darn quick.
No, he's the second leading receiver on the season for the Steelers. Brister and Hodge roommates on the road, by the way. That's the longest reception for Hodge since 1988. Tries to get some more on the ground here and does grind out about 6 yards to the 25, where he's stopped by Ray Agnew.
The rookie Ray Agnew out of North Carolina is another one of the few bright spots in this defensive front or defensive team of the Patriots. He's improved vastly from the beginning of the year, and they had high hopes from him from the beginning. He's just constantly gotten better and better, and well, down the road, he's going to figure into the Patriots' rebuilding success.
10th player taken in the draft, Ray Agnew out of North Carolina State. Hodge involved in the offense for the third consecutive play with a short gain. Here's a look at our Hertz 10-minute ticker. In that Oiler game, the only Cleveland score was a 101-yard kickoff return by Eric Metcalf. Lorenzo White has rushed for 3 touchdowns. Warren Moon has thrown for 2. They're just at halftime.
Yeah, well, you know, they've had enough opportunities to run those kickoffs back.
As reported as an eligible receiver, 62.
So Tunch Ilkin is reported as an eligible receiver.
There's Tunch Ilkin.
All-Pro in 88 and 89. Missed 4 games on injured reserve with an elbow injury. His first misses since 1987. Born in Turkey. His mother was voted Miss Turkey in 1950. Worley dives. Did he make it? Just needed very little for the first down. Needed about a yard. And as they unpile the bodies and take a long look at it, it will be a measurement coming up. Rust, who tutored the Pittsburgh defense a year ago, defensive coordinator, saying that he had a lot of good feelings for that unit. In fact, he said he was proud of the Pittsburgh defense and the way they played this year. Very close to some of his players. It's going to be short of the first down. Fans, let their feelings be known. Warren Williams on the field replacing Tim Worley. And it appears the Steelers will go for it on 4th and inches.
Well, I'd be kicking this one. If I have Anderson as my kicker, that's almost a certain 3. Given the way the Steeler defense has been playing and stopping the Patriots, I think that they should be trying to get the point. There's Coach Joe Walton in the middle, who has put in this new offense for the Steelers, and he's confident that the Steelers are going to be playing much better football down the road.
Hodge and Williams in the backfield. Williams on a wing. It'll be Hodge. He's got the first down. Inside the 20 down to the 17-yard line. Merrill Hodge behind. Good blocking by that front wall of the Steelers. Keeps the drive going.
Okay, so it worked. That's good. That's good on the left side of the screen. Good blocking up front here. Chris Singleton is kicked to the outside by Terry O'Shea, the tight end, and Hodge hits inside for the nice gainer. There's Joe Walton once again with the baseball hat on backwards. The terminologies have been a problem for this Pittsburgh offense, but they've simplified things and they've become more efficient. They've just been hurting themselves with inconsistent play.
From the 17, first down. Worley tripped up as he falls across the 15-yard line. Well, you mentioned that terminology. They signal part of it in now, but this can be very complicated. Give us the call if you're the quarterback in the huddle.
And remember, folks, you have 25 seconds to get this play run. Brister would step into huddle and he would say, slot split right, B up, Z short motion, 77, Z7, 67 protection, fullback hide on 4. Now, you folks at home have that? What he does is he gives the motion, Brister gives the line protection, gives the play call, and also gives pass routes to his Z receiver and fullback. It really is a mouthful.
Every player knows what to do on that certain play with that call. Brister retreats the pass and looks for the end zone. He's got a man wide open. Touchdown, Eric Green, number 7 on the season for Green, and that's tops for tight ends in the NFL. Andre Tippett left in Green's wake as he snags it for an 11-yard touchdown.
Demonstration foul, 5-yard penalty on number 86 on the kickoff.
Well, after a 7th catch for a rookie in the end zone, we'll allow a little demonstration and take the 5 yards, wouldn't you think?
Oh, I think it's a lousy penalty. I mean, what did he do down there? He waved a little bit, he was happy, and he's going to get a 5-yard penalty for it.
Eric Green, the tight end who couldn't help this team, they said, after he held out, catches his 7th touchdown pass of the season. And the Steelers go up 17-3 on the Patriots.
Eric Green is the motion man going across the screen. Brister gets good blocking and delivers right on target as Eric Green, with very deceptive speed, slips in behind Andre Tippett.
On the kickoff.
That is a penalty there, and I think that's a lousy call. Let's see Brister's reaction here, huh? Just another day's work, just another pass, just a routine touchdown to your tight end, huh?
That's right, touchdown. Robbie Brister with his first touchdown pass of this game, and for the season, number 16. Here's the kick by Anderson. It'll be taken by Morris at the 10. Jamie Morris fights his way to the 31-yard line, where he's hit by Gerald Williams. Tom Hudson will come back on the field. He's hit 11 of 18. He's having a good day. Had the one interception, 119 yards. Brister 7 of 12, 126 yards, 1 interception and 1 touchdown. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the telecast without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Steelers and the National Football League is prohibited. This game the property of the National Football League, Pittsburgh Steelers and New England Patriots, all rights reserved. Tom Hudson. Tripped up by Gerald Williams, and he falls back to the 32-yard line, or excuse me, to the 27-yard line. A loss on the play as Hudson was tripped up in the backfield.
Gerald Williams, 291 pounds, right in the middle of your screen. He is active. That's 291 pounds out there running around, folks. This man is active. He's strong. He's all over the field. He's given a young Danny Villa playing center for the Patriots today a headache.
That Pittsburgh defense ranked 4th in the NFL, 12th against the run, 3rd against the pass. Hudson dropped by Adams at the 30. Rod Woodson was bearing in on George Adams, who couldn't hold on. It bounced off his pad, a pass he should have had. In fact, Hudson has had several completions nullified by his receivers dropping them today.
Pretty good protection. The ball, I might get on top of Adams' pads. I don't know. That's what I thought happened. Rather than catching the ball in his hands, he allowed it to get into his body, hit his shoulder pads, and bounce away. Those shoulder pads are so huge. Hudson's a little disappointed, of course.
The Steelers have an interception today. That's 22 for them this season, which would tie them with the Bears, depending on what Chicago has done today. They've only allowed 6 touchdown passes all year, the Steelers. That's tops in the NFL. Hudson in traffic. Got away with one there as it's knocked incomplete. Dangerous throw by Hudson, intended for Dykes, and Rod Woodson, who already has picked off one today, knocked it down.
Well, Hudson's just a little bit late releasing this ball, and the defenders of Pittsburgh close quickly. Woodson nearly makes the interception. Dykes does a good job of getting up, but the reason that was so close was Hudson was a little bit late getting that ball out there.
Hansen to punt. Low punt, line drive that bounces at the 40, taken by Woodson on the hop. And Woodson off to the races, out of bounds at the 45-yard line. 44-yard kick, not very pretty. Tom Hudson's had a decent day, but not many points on the board. Brister stumbled a little bit as he handed off to Worley. He turns the corner, even though he's tripped up. He falls to the 49-yard line. Andre Tippett got a hand on his foot to trip up Worley after a gain of 4. Hurts 10-minute ticker coming your way to check the other scores. The Steelers hoping for some help in their race for the AFC Central Division title, and getting it right now from the 49ers, who lead Cincinnati 14-10. And, of course, Pittsburgh must still face Houston, which is on its way to a big win over Cleveland. Giants still trailing. Seattle surprising Green Bay in Green Bay, 17-0. Giants could lose their 3rd in a row today. Worley, nothing. Stopped at the line of scrimmage and driven back. Chris Singleton down at the bottom of the stack for the Patriots.
Well, you know, if Cincinnati falls to San Francisco, Tom, that's going to put Pittsburgh right back in a tie for first place there.
Although they will lose the tiebreaker to the Bengals, since they were defeated by Cincinnati twice this season, so they need for Cincinnati to lose again. But the Raiders are the opponent for the Bengals next week, so entirely possible.
It sure is. And the Seahawks, whom the Steelers are concerned with, their records seem to be doing well up at Green Bay, so the Steelers have to keep winning.
Steelers 6-6 coming into this game. That's Green in motion on 3rd and long. Brister looks for Green, and he has him wide open. He's got a first down. Tiptoes out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Ronnie Lepet had to recover to finally catch up to Green. He was wide open.
Well, you wonder what makes this man so good. He goes 6'5", 274 pounds, but folks, he's got quick feet and excellent hands. He moves so much faster than you would expect for a man that size. Such agility and quickness for a man that size surprises all these defensive backs that he's faced so far.
Green held out until September 24th, didn't play until week 4 of the season, but already has broken the Pittsburgh team record for tight ends with 7 touchdown catches. John Hilton had 5, the old record, in 1967. Hodge, nothing much there. The New England defense has stiffened up against the run in the second half. Marion Hobby got that tackle for New England. As we said, the Steelers involved in that three-way battle for the AFC Central title. The Bengals facing San Francisco and trailing at the moment must also face the Raiders, Houston and Cleveland at home. The Steelers go to New Orleans next week, then play Cleveland here and at Houston. And Houston will be at Kansas City, a tough order, then at Cincinnati, and winding up at home against Pittsburgh. As you can see, as you look at that their remaining schedule, it's still very much wide open. Hodge tosses back to Brister, and Brister gets away from one would-be tackler, then finally is taken down at the 35-yard line. They tried the flea flicker play, but the Patriots were ready for it in the secondary. Brent Williams finally tripped Brister up as he scrambled for some yardage.
Ball was fumbled forward. It'll be returned to the spot of the fumble.
Check the lateral. Hodge is going to get it back to Brister. Now he checks downfield, but there's no one down there, and Tim Goad nearly makes the play. Like the way Brister jumps inside right here on Andre Tippett. Smart running. Loses the ball, but it goes out of bounds, so the Steelers get it back.
Well, Joe Walton's put a little razzle-dazzle in the Pittsburgh offense. That one was a toss from Hodge back to Brister. And it's 3rd and 4 now. Brister's pass knocked down, almost caught by Richard Bell, but he short-hopped it, and then the ball came free anyway. It was Stone, excuse me. Dwight Stone made a pretty good effort, but the ball came up short.
Well, Brent Williams, I believe, gets a hand on it on the right side of the screen. You see Brister deliver the ball. Watch number 96. There it is. He gets his hand up there and deflects it, so had it been caught, it wouldn't have been a first down anyway. Good play by Brent Williams at defensive end.
Straczynski will punt. And Fryer is deep. Not a very good snap. Straczynski made a good catch of it and then sails it. And it gets out of bounds inside the 1-yard line. 35-yard kick, but inside the 20 for Straczynski, his 14th of the season in that department. Boy, had the English on it, right out of bounds in front of the goal line. Straczynski's punt out of bounds that close to the goal line. Dwight Stone was in good position to perhaps down it, but the kick just went right out of bounds. Great.
He practices that, Tom. You know, he knows that bounce. Straczynski right here, number 4. He say, hey, that's a good bounce. I'll take it.
What would you call here, Joe? It's going to be a running play to Marvin Allen. And he gets a couple of yards. You're really limited, aren't you, in your offensive play calling in that position?
Here's where a veteran quarterback would be better capable of handling this situation. Personally, I'd get in that huddle and I'd tell my team I'm going to give them a formation. Then when we get to the line, we're either going to run the ball or we're going to pass it. But as a quarterback, I would check the defense out once I got up to the line of scrimmage, then choose which play to run. If the defense is stacked in there to stop the run, hey, take a shot and hit a flanker on a quick slant, a quick out, or even a go pattern. This is where a veteran quarterback can help you out.
Allen got him a little breathing room. 2nd down give. And they get even more that time as Allen carries and is stopped by Gerald Williams, the nose tackle. He's out to about the 7-yard line. Jimmy Ray calling the plays, the offensive coordinator in the red hat. Jimmy has a son, Jimmy Ray Jr., that plays for San Diego State.
Good receiver. Might be able to use them on the Patriots, but I'm sure I think they need offensive linemen for these Patriots, so the receivers are pretty good.
Patriots have converted only 2 of 10 third downs. Again, the tailback Allen, and again, not much. They'll have to punt from deep in their own territory. Hodgson didn't see them get much. They unstack them, and they're fighting over the football right now, it appears. Vesey was at the bottom of the stack for Pittsburgh, and Kenny Davidson was there also. Davidson out there pushing and shoving a little bit. Nothing serious, though, and the punt team, Hansen, on the field as the clock continues to tick away toward the end of the third quarter. The dangerous Woodson waiting at midfield. Hansen from his own end zone gets off a good one. And gets a good New England bounce. Even better. Look at this. Good roll. Brian Hansen. He's kicked a 69-yarder this season. That one covered 60 yards. We'll be right back to Three Rivers Stadium after a word from your local station. Receiver out of Michigan is off target. Callaway starting in place of Lewis Lips today. Lips, the #1 receiver for the Steelers, with 44 catches on the sideline in street clothes just behind the down marker. There he is with a hat on and the beard. Lips, the tremendous receiver in his 7th year out of Southern Miss. He has a back injury. There are his stats for 1990. Callaway, the rookie out of Michigan, was a teammate at Michigan of Greg McMurtry, who's also a rookie. And as Worley tries to get to the outside, Chuck Noll was saying there's the fumble, but the ball ruled down, no fumble. Chuck Noll was saying that's Worley shaken up. We don't want to get this story out, do we, about Callaway?
The ruling on the field is down by contact, third down.
Well, let's take a look and see if Worley's down by contact. That's what they've ruled. So you see Agnew in hot pursuit, can't quite get a handle on Worley, and then the hit comes in, and yes, you really can't tell where the ball came out or when it came out.
Ronnie Lepet hit him, and the ball ruled down, and Worley shaken up on that tough hit by Ronnie Lepet. Xerox 10-minute ticker coming your way. Buffalo just about ending the Colts' faint playoff chances. Houston 52-7. Cincinnati has bounced back to take the lead against the 49ers in the fourth quarter now. Minnesota still leads. Seattle airing it out. And Phoenix ahead of Atlanta. Cardinals with a pretty good young team.
Yeah, and Atlanta without Chris Miller, their quarterback, who's got a collarbone or shoulder injury.
Warren Williams, number 42, in his 3rd year out of Miami, 6th-round draft choice, has replaced the injured Worley in the Pittsburgh backfield. Play action pass, and it's complete to Hodge. Hodge, a first down into Patriot territory, down to about the 48-yard line, where he's tripped up by Ronnie Lepet. It went for 18 yards to Hodge, who's had a good day both running the football and receiving.
Well, you mentioned earlier, Tom, Hodge has caught a lot of passes for these Steelers this season. It's interesting to me how he can come out of that backfield wide open on the left side of your screen. You see Reynolds, 95, caught looking onto the inside. I believe Reynolds should have been out there trying to cover him, but good play action fake, and I don't know how a pass receiver that's catching the passes that Hodge is allowed to run free like that.
Merrill Hodge trying for that extra yard, lowered his shoulder instead of getting out of bounds, something that Franco Harris was criticized for many years here with the Steelers. A great career. Brister's pass broken up, intended for Callaway. Now I'm getting this story in about Callaway. Chuck Noll said that Greg McMurtry, who was a choice of the Patriots, was the receiver everyone was talking about at Michigan, and they were looking, the Steelers coaches, at films of McMurtry, and they noticed that the Wolverines kept wanting to throw to Callaway, and the more they looked at Callaway, the better he looked to them. They wound up drafting Chris Callaway in the 4th round after McMurtry had gone to New England in the 3rd. Callaway doesn't have the deep speed threat, but he does have excellent moves. They really like the way Callaway runs his pass routes. 2nd and 10 for the Steelers. We're in the 4th quarter. They lead 17-3. Just under 14 minutes left. Warren Williams chews up 4 or 5 yards. Marion Hobby and Ed Reynolds tackling Williams. Worley has a sprained left shoulder and is out for the rest of the game.
Worley's had some injuries this season. He missed 4 games in a row or so earlier this season with an ankle, and now he has the ribs injury. It hasn't really been that productive for #1 draft choice the last couple of seasons. I'd like to see Worley really kind of break out and be the kind of running back they expected him to be when he came out of college, but he hasn't measured up to it yet.
83 yards he gained today before being sent out by that injury. He gained last year 770, which was 3rd for NFL rookie running backs behind Sanders and Humphrey. Here's Hodge. He's got a blocker in front. Touchdown! With his longest run of the season, 41 yards, scores his 2nd touchdown of the day, and he has 94 yards rushing on the afternoon. Anderson with the extra point through the uprights, and Pittsburgh now airing it out against the New England Patriots. They're up 24-3. Jamie Morris takes Anderson's kick at the 3-yard line and across the 20 to the 22, where he's tackled by Tyrone Stowe. Well, it was Merrill Hodge for 41 yards on the high wire as he tiptoed down the sideline.
On the right side of your screen, you see number 65, John Jackson, making a nice block. Out in front, Dawson, and here comes Dwight Stone's going to come in. How can he stay in bounds? Look at this man. He's walking the tightrope, and there's Dwight Stone throwing the key block that lets Hodge get into the end zone. What effort. Excellent blocking.
It was a good team effort, great blocking, and what balance by Hodge to stay in bounds for that 41-yard scamper. Tommy Hodson, another pass dropped. Pryor dropped that one for no apparent reason. Total yards, 349 for the Steelers, 199 of those on the ground. New England 138. They've got only 34 yards rushing. There's Irving Pryor, a man who wants to be traded, he says. Leading receiver for the Patriots. Hodson to Cook. Cook gathers it in and has a first down to the 33-yard line. Dwayne Woodruff tackling Marv Cook, the tight end, a man who draws praise from his coaches as being consistently good throughout this 1-11 season.
Patriots are hustling back up to the line of scrimmage, I believe. Nope, I think they're going to huddle. Hodson got hit very hard that last play. In a situation like this, the Steelers know that Hodson must throw, and they are going to be all over him. Craig Viesi made the hit that time, but they're going to be coming after Hodson now, boy.
And here they are again. Hodson scrambling. Tripped up from behind at the 40-yard line by Kenny Davidson. Now let's go to Bob Costas at NFL Live for an update.
All right, Tom, the route is on at the Hoosier Dome. Thurman Thomas, who a week ago passed 1,000 yards for the season, takes the handoff on the draw out of the shotgun. Very effective play. 23 yards for a touchdown. His 2nd rushing touchdown of this game. And Buffalo on their way to a record of 11-2, leading in the Hoosier Dome, 31-7.
And the route is on here at Three Rivers Stadium, too. 24-3, the Steelers lead. Hodson just had an incomplete pass intended for Michael Timpson. Here it is.
Well, this ball really sails on Hodson this time. You have to think that it might be his fingers. Accurately as he's been throwing the ball, that one just got away from him. For the most part, though, I think Hodson's done a remarkable job today, considering the hand injury, considering the really not real bad pass protection, but he's come to his receivers. He's kept a good presence about himself out there.
Looking at the Steeler dime defense, Hodson steps up and throws it complete to Fryer, close to the first down. Carnell Lake immediately took him down, but there's Hodson. Has a cracked knuckle on that right ring finger, taped up as we told you earlier, and He got the first down. That's only the second first down of the half, both on this drive for New England. Hodson, Patrick Sullivan, and Rod Russ both say it's too early to say definitively that he is the quarterback of the future for New England. It looks like they're going to have that first pick in the draft, and would they take a quarterback or would they figure Hodson is their man? Still too early to tell, they say. Well, Cook dropped that one. Joe, that's got to be 5 passes dropped by Patriot receivers today.
I think you're right. And this man, number 46, Marv Cook, doesn't drop very many of them. He's got excellent hands, and for the most part, he's caught everything thrown his way. Hodson delivers right on target again, and the ball just gets through Cook's hands.
Woodruff had a shot at it, but couldn't quite come up with it. You know, Cook's a pretty remarkable athlete. He was all conference football, basketball, baseball, and track in high school. 14 letters. He averaged 14 points and 11 rebounds in basketball. Taken down, sacked by Lorenzo Freeman. Like you said, Joe, they know he's got a pass, and they just collapsed on him that time, with Freeman and Vasey getting credit for the sack.
Yes, it's going to be a long fourth quarter now. When the team knows you have to pass, those defensive linemen just get down there in that three-point sprinter stance and start coming, and look at Big Williams. My goodness. Or Freeman. I mean, he is a load. Jeez. 319 is he listed as?
Right. 319 pounds. Hodson intended the receiver to break Dykes down the sideline. Instead, he turned it in. There's a penalty marker down. Hodson was down, too, and he looks like he's starting to feel the effects of that Steeler rush. Apparently, it's against the Steelers and will be declined, bringing up fourth down.
Holding, number 68 of the offense. The penalty is declined. Fourth down.
Chuck Noll looking for that 200th win, and in good shape for it, as Hodson very slowly walking off the field after going down under the rush once more. Hansen to punt to Woodson. A familiar scenario in this game. Fair catch taken at the 30-yard line. 32-yard punt by Hansen, the fair catch taken. And the Steelers with Noll closing in on win number 200. 24-3 here at Three Rivers Stadium. Tommy Roy, our producer, pulling out all stops in a 24-3 game, has gone for the theatrical and has gotten us loaded up in shoulder pads here to show the difference in a lineman's pads and a quarterback's pads.
A lot of quarterback's pads has these rib pads kind of in protection in here. You know what's interesting to me? These things only weigh 7 pounds. 7 pounds, and these pads only weigh 6 pounds that Tom has on. Surprisingly light for such huge bulk. But you can see by the size of these things how these players can lay a shoulder into one another and not hurt their shoulders for the most part.
Merrill Hodge, short gain on the play on first down. Now I got to wear this thing for the next time out, I guess.
This is great. I don't think I've ever done a game from the press box with shoulder pads on. 6 pounds. Tom, mine fits better than yours, buddy.
Don't try it.
I would expect the Steelers now to use their shoulder pads, stay on the ground, run this clock, just get this game over with now and keep running that strong running attack of theirs, not give the Patriots any clock left by throwing passes.
Reverse, though. A little razzle-dazzle. Dwight Stone. Close to the first down across the 40. Excuse me, Warren Williams. Stone got the handoff from Williams on the reverse.
Nice reverse, and Chris Singleton stays at home. Here you see Williams. He's going to make the handoff. The toughest part of this play is making that handoff to a running back coming across there. Now number 55, Chris Singleton's out in good position, doesn't get faked out, keeps his feet under him and makes a fine tackle.
It is enough for the first down. The Steelers will have it 1st and 10. They've rushed for over 200 yards today. Trying to reach the 100-yard mark in rushing. Taken out of bounds by Chris Singleton.
Big day for Merrill Hodge, both running and pass receiving.
What about in his passing? He hasn't tried to pass today, but he did a couple of games ago against the Jets. A bounce pass at that.
Yeah, so watch this, folks. The ball's going to bounce. Now, he's still not finished. Look, watch Hodge. He wants the ball back. Look, give me the ball. He doesn't know what the play is yet. It was a breakdown, and ironically, Brester found the receiver, and they had a big gain downfield.
He was laughing about that pass yesterday. He said he didn't get to right to the end of it. Well, he decided he should bounce it or not bounce it. It was a legal play to bounce it since it was a backward pass. Warren Williams can't hold on to that one. And it will bring up 3rd and 11.
Well, a little screen pass that time. Bubby put it in the right place. He's probably wondering why they're just not running the ball just like I am. Why even try a screen pass now? You have the lead, 21-point lead. Your defense is playing great football. Joe Walton's calling the plays. You know, I used to watch this man play high school football back at Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, and I'd tell you, he was a great player. Great halfback, and went on to All-American with Pittsburgh, and then played pro ball with the Giants and Washington Redskins.
And after those years of grief as head coach of the Jets, he told us yesterday he was really happy here as the offensive coordinator of the Steelers. That pass caught on the rebound by the Steelers. Stone got the carom and has a first down. McSwain and Lepet on the coverage knocked the ball up in the air intended for Hill, and Stone cruising downfield made the reception on the deflection.
Not quite the immaculate reception as Franco Harris had against the Raiders years ago, but check this out. Stone gets a gift. Good defense by Lepet and McSwain, but here's Stone out leaping Reynolds for the ball. Bubby, sure, just a regular pass. I'll take it.
16-yard gain, Steeler first down. Hodge gets the corner, driven out of bounds. That'll be close to giving him 100 yards on the day. He had 94 before that run, and he gets 6. So unofficially anyway, Merrill Hodge has achieved 100 yards rushing today. Merrill Hodge, who set 11 records back at Idaho State, gained 2,200 yards, scored 44 touchdowns, 99 yards officially now, so needs only one more to go over the 100-yard rushing mark. He scored 2 touchdowns and has 3 catches for 58 yards. Has his 100 and is close to a first down. Richard Harvey took the legs out from under him. And Ed Reynolds got a piece of that too. Here's the way things line up now in the AFC Central. Cincinnati on top, and at the moment with a short lead over San Francisco at Riverfront Stadium. Houston and Pittsburgh tied at 6-6. Coming up next week, some key battles. Pittsburgh will be at New Orleans, and Cincinnati with a tough task as they go into the Coliseum to face the Raiders. All coming your way starting with NFL Live at 12:30 next Sunday on NBC. 17 carries, 105 yards now for Merrill Hodge. Clock down to 5 minutes, 55 seconds. Warren Williams twisting and turning close to the 25. Tim Goad and Chris Singleton finally wrapped up Warren Williams, who has replaced the injured Tim Worley.
Normally, this Patriot defense, knowing that another team is just going to run the ball at them, would be able to stop them. I guess you've got to lose some enthusiasm. Your attitude's not as good when you're in the short end of the scoreboard. But right now, these Patriots know. They know that the Steelers are sticking the ball at them. They know that the Steelers are running the football at them. They should be able to stop them from getting another first down on the ground.
Williams. Nice spin move by Williams. Fought for the first down. Hit initially, spun away from that group of tacklers and kept the legs churning. Finally, Rod McSwain got him down.
Well, there's two ways of looking at this. Either Warren Williams just giving a great effort, or the Patriots are not making very good tackles. Here you see 3 white shirts. They get their hands on him. Mobley just can't quite hold on to Williams, who gives it that second and third effort. He's enthused, Warren Williams is. He likes to carry that rock. He doesn't get as many opportunities to do it as he'd like.
John Reenstra and Carlton Hasselrig are in the offensive line for the Steelers now. At the guard, replacing the starters. Incomplete pass. Blankenship and Long, the starters. Callaway was the intended receiver, covered by Maurice Hurst. The pass goes incomplete.
Well, it was close. The fans here thought there might have been a little interference on the right side of your screen. 37, Maurice Hurst comes over the top a bit. Makes a pretty good play. Callaway seemed to slide, and Callaway also seemed to think that he got fouled that play, but there's no flag. I'm still surprised that the Steelers are throwing the football. I don't know what they're trying to score more points, I guess, or polish up their offense.
Bristers hit 10 of 20 for 171 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Down to the 7. Fred Marion, the free safety on the tackle. Chuck Noll can smell number 200. Pretty select company for him with here's the Patriots coaches he's whipped over the years. 6-3 against them is Chuck Noll. Noll's been the coach for 22 years at Pittsburgh. Meanwhile, the Patriots have gone through that many coaches. George Halas, Don Shula, Tom Landry, Curly Lambeau, the only other coaches to have won 200 NFL games. Warren Williams to the 3. Vincent Brown, Fred Marion on the tackle of Williams. And there's an injured Steeler. It's Hasselrig. Carlton Hasselrig in his first year out of Pitt Johnstown is injured. Didn't play college football. A wrestling champion. He's down.